Hey everybody, welcome back to another episode Around the Fire. Today I am here relaxing in my luxurious bathrobe. Thank you, wife. Putting together a video for you on what I think is the 5 worst or dumbest guns coming out in 2020. Now, mind you, in all fairness, I like guns, so this was kind of a hard list to put together because there really aren't too many guns I don't like, except for a couple of things that we'll talk about here today. Let's roll. All right, and we are starting it off with a bang. Well, or maybe not. I mean, look at this thing. Is it a gun? Is it a glue gun? Is it a Harbor Freight hair dryer? I'm not sure. But apparently, this is the Altor pistol, and this is intended to be like a pocket personal protection pistol, coming in at around 6 inches in length, which I think is pretty weird. It's pretty dang long and awkward. Its claim to fame is it only has 6 moving parts. It's a single shot pistol, and to activate the safety on this, you actually have to hold the gun's pistol grip itself and twist the barrel to put it into the fire position. Like I said, I think it looks like a glue gun, and coming in at around $120 for the 380 ACP and $129 MSR is what they're shooting for the 9mm. I don't think you would ever catch me doing this. I would sooner build a pistol out of some pipe and a 2x4 like you see some of these dudes doing on the internet. There's there's no way. I think this one is up there with the zip gun. Let me know what you think below. Have fun. Be nice though. All right, and number 2. This one kind of isn't fair, but it's going to be tactical lever guns. Now, I have nothing against lever guns. I'd like to say that up front. I own a few myself. I think they're fun. I think they're great. I think they're a cool historical action style of firearm. Everybody's dad, granddad, uncle had one of these if you don't already own one yourself. Fun, great guns. Usually very reliable unless there's something very mechanically wrong with them. And usually in pretty fun, handy calibers for taking down some game like deer or bear or elk, etc. 35 Remington, etc. Great brush guns, so on and so forth. My issue here isn't with lever guns themselves, but so much of that I just didn't feel like this was a thing the market needed. When we're all kind of sitting around waiting for the next innovative thing, they go and they take something like a lever gun and they put an ATI buttstock on it, give you some Picatinny rail, throw some paracord on it, and call it the next tactical thing. Well, as much as I like tactical guns, and so does everybody else, putting a threaded brake on the gun makes some sense, to update these sort of rifles into the future. But typically, these guns were regarded as somewhat dangerous. Now, I'm not saying I think that, but it's something that you hear a lot, sort of like what you would call FUD lore. Now, people have been talking for ages about dropping these guns and them going off because these guns are guns that if the action is cocked back, you do have to decock yourself by hand. So putting a lot of these into, well, the sort of less educated gun community that just loves AR-15s and anything that looks cool, tactical, and black might not necessarily be the best idea and may result in a bunch of dudes shooting their dangers off. That being said, a lot of these guns are retailing for anywhere from $8, $9 to $1,000. That's quite a bit of money when you could just buy a really nice Marlin or something like that, nice wood and etc. I personally would go that route on a classic firearm. Now, if one of these was a little bit more accessible, say maybe in the $450 range, then I could see it, being that it's a lot cheaper materials, being the polymers and whatnot. So I just kind of see it as a weird thing, kind of gimmicky right now. But still cool. I like lever guns, so it was a tough choice. But let me know what you guys think below. Okay, coming at number 3 here, we got another 2020 SHOT Show Belle of the Ball. From CZ, this is going to be their own Scorpion Bullpup kit. Now, I've never touched one of these. I've never had one in my hands, as they are obviously new, so for me to criticize how they're going to function is rather impossible. But I will say this: most bullpup kits suck. Bullpup triggers tend to suck. Bullpup ejection patterns tend to suck. They're usually plagued by a lot of jamming and etc. And all this essentially is you stuffing your CZ Scorpion, which is already a gun that has some issues that if you really want to take the gun seriously and have a good one, needs some money spent on it, changing out its grip and, triggers and, some other bits and odds and ends there. I'm not saying a CZ Scorpion can't be an awesome gun. I'm just saying look at the grip angle on a CZ Scorpion and tell me that that's going to fit naturally and be comfortable. It's not. It's been the number one complaint about that gun since it came out. And rather than 2020 dropping like a, hey, here's the new CZ Scorpion that we listened to all you guys and, change the grip angle, we're going to give you this other thing that costs $400 more that you can shove your CZ Scorpion inside of to make a bigger, more ridiculous gun. Because you didn't buy the CZ Scorpion because you wanted a small, compact firearm. You bought the CZ Scorpion because you wanted to play Legos or something. I don't know. I don't get it. Now, like I said, I like guns. I like all guns. I like the CZ Scorpion. I just think this is silly. I think bullpup kits are sometimes fun, but I think bullpup kits are fun on rifles that, didn't have anything else going on. I think it's neat when you sometimes see people trying to make AK ones. I think it's cool that you see like the center balance system type ones and stuff like that for Mo's and Nagants and stuff. They're innovative, they're weird, they're funky. Custom builders can kind of do their own thing with them. This to me just falls under the category of probably mostly polymer and unnecessary, and I don't know. You tell me, what do you think below? You gonna spend $400 on one of these just to have it for your CZ Scorpion so you can run around and play Mall Ninja? Let me know. Alright, so keeping on with kicking in the big dogs, we got the Kriss Vector 22 long rifle. So number 4 here. Well, let me start by saying, I'm sorry, Chris. Please don't send me a cease and desist letter. These guys are probably not going to be happy with me. I just don't get it. Now, the Kriss Vector itself is a very cool firearm in the normal calibers that function with this Super V blowback system that they have, in the guns that the guns are known for. It is intended to move the recoil down in the receiver. Now, mind you, you only really see the benefits of that, and you will see this in several videos when you're running the gun in full auto. Now, as a civilian, not many of us have that, but the gun still has that operating system in it. It's a little neat, it's a little different, but even right there, the civilian market for the Kriss Vector is kind of weird in my opinion. Now, that being said, I still like them a lot. I like my Kriss Vector a lot. I have all sorts of plans for my Kriss Vector. I think it's a very cool gun. But this gun here is essentially just a Kriss Vector shell, and it's just a blowback operated mechanism inside. Now, I have not personally been able to see the mechanism to tell you what it looks like, but Kriss themselves just says this is just a 22 long rifle blowback operated system with its own proprietary mags. Right now they only have 10 round magazines. They are working on 30 round magazines, but they're not even available yet, and the gun's launched. It's just strange to me. This just seems unnecessary. Now, they are launching it for an MSRP of around $650, but in my opinion, again, for even like a sort of tactical, fun trainer type gun, I mean, like, let's say, okay, maybe there's a fair one. You run into Kriss Vector every single day. That's your operation gun, and you want a Kriss Vector to train on that's a 22. Maybe that's a fair play for this one. Same manual of arms, stuff like that. But for $650, I don't think so. I think I'll pass on this one. If this thing was a little bit less, if it came in the market around, the other AR-15 22 trainers like the M&P 1022 or the products made by Umarex, such as the HK41622 or any of the other ones that they make, then I could see it. But at 650 plus bucks, because let's face it, it's gonna be 650 bucks for the base model, and any extras are gonna cost you more money out of pocket for what essentially is just a tricked out 22 long rifle, tactical gun, like I had stated. So again, nothing against the gun itself, nothing against Kriss itself. It is cool looking. It will probably be tons of fun. I'll just wait for somebody else I know to buy one and shoot it. That being said, what do you guys think? Would you guys pick one of these up? Have you guys been planning on picking one of these up? I know a lot of people were actually pretty excited when they were dropping a 22 variant of this. I was just hoping for something maybe a little bit more innovative from a company that came up with its own innovative, you know, operating mechanism. So I thought, maybe a different type of 22 or something. Who knows? All right, last but not least, coming in at number 5, we have a company called Fold AR. This is their third generation of folding AR. Now, the way I understand this works from watching some videos and whatnot, because there's not too many photos of these online actually, is that it's a proprietary upper and lower, so not something you can just slap together yourself with some parts that you can obtain. It's a you must have it from them type of proprietary deal, which kind of bums me out right then and there. But the buffer tube and barrel and forend lock with like their own proprietary mechanism, and they guarantee them, I think they said, for like something like 20,000 rounds or something like that, that the mechanisms won't fail. Now, that's cool and all, but 20,000 isn't really that many, I guess. I mean, it's a lot, but I don't know. And a base price of $2,000, and that's just, like I said, for a base model, probably nothing fancy like you see here. I don't know how I feel about it. I just feel like there's too many things in that system to go wrong. Now, I do think it is really neat that you could fold an AR up, especially a shorty, and put it in a bag and, pop it out and deploy it pretty quickly. But I just think that there's other firearms already doing that job, and that this, although innovative, which I think is great, I hate to criticize these guys, in that area, because I think what they're doing is cool, new, and different. So applause to them for that. Like I said, this was a hard list to put together in the first place because, like I said, I like just about all guns, period, and I do think this is neat, but I just think that for the price and the fact that it's so proprietary, it kind of stinks. I wish it was parts that would have made us able to modify current existing AR pistols and whatnot into something like this. That would be a lot more accessible to people. That would be an option. If you just wanted to say have the barrel end or whatnot, you could do it and, do it at home, as opposed to, having to build a completely proprietary rifle that's not going to necessarily have, changeable options for you. Like, you're not going to probably be able to change your forend because it seems that the forend is an integrated piece. Not that it's a bad looking piece, but but if you just wanted to make a change down the road, go to a longer one, a shorter one, lighter one, etc., you don't really have that option with this, and you've got $2,000 invested in it. So this one's going to fall into a weird gray category for me, where I'm just going to have to say I don't think it was necessary, but definitely not the dumbest thing to come out in 2020. All right, guys, sound off below. Let me know what you think about the list that I put together. Like I said, it was tough because, I think all guns are pretty neat. If you think there's something dumber coming out this year, share it with me, and maybe we'll get it in a video. All right, thank you. Have a good one.